You're live. There we go. Nothing's more off-putting than like everything's like starting and loading, and I have all this like upbeat energy, like I'm in the middle of a parade, and I'm like, oh no, go, 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 go. I've had that dream before. You ever have that dream where you're in the middle of a parade, it just starts going? Welcome back to Bill Joe Gaming. I'm Bill, and we are playing more Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice for the first time. We are finishing episode 3, The Right of Turnabout. Ironically, we didn't want the stream to go crazy late last time, so we wanted to like end it on a good break point. And now we're also in a mild storm warning area again, so that's great. Having a lot of fun. We're really taking good care of the planet, everybody. But yeah, we're finishing episode 3, The Right of Turnabout. Maya just proved that she is indeed the queen. And I really liked that. We had a lot of good build up for like, Maya can't channel anybody. That would like throw this whole, I almost said civilization, maybe culture. It's a faux pas for someone outside of Khura'in to channel, even though Maya's been doing it for us since case number 2. And so we finally had to get her to channel Trust in Me, the victim, so we can not be accused of crimes again. And so Maya doesn't get I guess a 1 in 5 accused acquitted ratio. Did I hear something about going crazy and having a lot of fun? Yes. Can't you tell? Everyone's having fun. Say it right now in chat, how much fun you're having. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. Consider donating or becoming a member. You could donate here, or you could donate to support me directly at thethirdbill.com. That's linked in the description next to my P.O. Box, main channel, and all that stuff. And as always, a resource card. A card with resources, should you or some you don't need them. Lot of fun, lot of heart. I don't understand. I don't get that reference. Is that your OC that you made? Anyway, thank you to the channel members. Hit that join button if you want to join and become a channel member as well. Thank you, Haley, 12 Ari, Lindsay, Wolfcat Dragon, Polyphonica Studio, Owie301, Robus and Lucy, Nicole Cheney, Eggs, Ashley Jammer, Richie, Adam, Always R.A., Cheyenne, Lucas, Serena, Pseudonymous Entity, Happy Hank, Rocket Number 9, Jesse, Haku Lives 2613, and Skyworms. And thank you to viewers like you. You know, if you don't want to or you can't donate or be a member right now, you're helping out by hanging out. Make sure you're doing all the free things. Yes, a lot of fun is my OC. Make sure you're doing the free things. Hitting that like is free. Subscribing and ringing the bell to turn on notifications is free. Comments and words of encouragement is free, especially if you want more Ace Attorney stuff in the future. There's a DLC on Spirit of Justice that we could do in the future if people seem interested, as well as great Ace Attorney Chronicles. But for right now, we're finishing case 3. We're going to take a little break. I just asked the channel members in the community tab some thoughts on a game between case 3 and 4. So hit that join if you want to put in your input. And if you're a channel member, go look at that. What? Plug, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I think we nailed it. And someone sending me lurker love. Thank you for that. Shout out to the lurkers. I'm glad the lurker button is back. I guess we could start from the autosave, right? It's only a couple minutes back. A little refresh. Gray Ace Attorney Chronicles. Who's Gray in the Ace Attorney Chronicles? Yeah, we'll start back here. I'm assuming it'll just be from the start of the channel. Ling. Nope. Oh, yes. Hi, Maya. How you doing? Are you winning, son? But first, I shall show you all the fruits of my training in your kingdom. Wow. She seems really confident. A neophyte That's a big word on a Monday evening. A neophyte practitioner such as you could not possibly channel a spirit. Okay, your benevolence. How about this? If I succeed, will you stop calling me a neophyte? Very well. If you succeed. Oh, I will. Just you watch. We saw this at the end of the last stream, but in case anyone missed it. Return now to the world of the living. Sorry that went on by itself. Yu-Gi-Oh! It's the dead eyes and the frown. It just looks like someone was like, my kid really wanted us to do a family Ace Attorney cosplay. Oh yeah, what voice do we give him? Upgrade from Neophyte to Neopet. I also like that they gave a little, it's not as big as the dance, but they gave Maya a little channeling cutscene. I like that. Did we land on a voice? I don't think so. If only someone would bribe me. What is this place? Oh, my. No, this cannot be. Oh, yeah, we're about to turn your whole, like culture upside down. I'm so not sorry, because you also are trying to kill me. This cannot be. Paul Kunka. It's the High Priest. The accused really can channel spirits. I don't believe it. The accused spiritual power is the real deal. Keeping the freaking sandals is hilarious. Go Maya. Yeah, we're proud of her. I do not understand. This cannot be. This simply cannot be. I must step out now before I forget myself. You alright, kiddo? Abbott, in me. Would this be the, Twilight Realm? And what of this? Oh my god. Bitch, you better work. Luxurious mane of hair. Is it perhaps a gift from the Holy Mother for decades of faithful service? Abbott, in me? My, but if it isn't His Majesty, have you two shuffled off that mortal coil? Please do not count me among the dead. It is only you who has passed on. But the spirit medium, Maya Fey, has brought you back among us. Today. Why, Acolyte Fey has mastered the secret art of spirit channeling. I suppose that explains these gorgeous locks. I'm hearing here. When I pass from this world, I too hope to be channeled with a full head of hair. Just to feel it one more time. Though it be for the briefest of moments, I give thanks for this splendid hair. Praise be to the Holy Mother. However, this kimono's a bit too snug for my tastes. If you would excuse me. Huh. Maya, no. I knew it when I found the the one PNG I could find for my thumbnail. Why did you do this to her? There, that's better. I'm shirtless here. So, the tattoos carried over too, or does Maya have ink? Could we get to his testimony now? Edward's not gonna like that this happened. I wish he'd kept his top on. Huh? Why, you're that foreign lawyer the people spoke of as of late. And is this not the Hall of Justice? Why have I been summoned here? Forgive us for calling you back from your eternal rest. Don't you cry no more, but you have been accused of murder. Might we ask you to testify on your own behalf? Oh my god, no, don't do this to Maya. Oh, don't show me feet. I have been accused of murder. That is troubling indeed. Blah. What's with that crazy pose? Is this really cause for such astonishment? No, God, the shoe doesn't even fit. She's gonna hurt all over. Even the lowliest of monks can achieve such body control with the proper training. Oh, I wonder if I'll be able to do that someday. What? Will the defense please explain the situation to the high priest? I'd be happy to. Your disciple, Pray Zealot, has been murdered. It happened on the day before the purification rite. And the crime occurred in the rebel hideout, hidden within the inner sanctum. Parentheses, also, who killed you? End parentheses. An acolyte zealot, he has been killed. Who would do such a thing? Someone who knew of the hideout and had access to the inner sanctum. In other words, you, Abbot in me. After all, weren't you secretly a rebel? Stop doing this to my adopted daughter. Nah. Oh, dear. That's still Maya's body. I hope he doesn't break it. Thank you, King. Thank you. Hey. Wow, the High Priest is amazing. To think he had mastered such an advanced prayer pose. He's still worthy of our veneration. Even if he is a rebel, praise be to the Holy Mother. Praise be to the Holy Mother. Oh my, have my rebel allegiances been exposed? I'm rebelling here. Not even my wife knew of that. It seems to rest in peace is not my fate. Why did you, a devout priest of Khura'ism, join the rebellion? The High Priest has come back to us for but a brief time, Defense. Shall we not cut to the chase and ask the most pressing of questions? Don't act like you don't want to know. I can see it in your eyeliner. You're nosy as fuck. Oh, right. Abbot in me, the prosecution believes the one who slew both you and Acolyte Zealot to be my fae, who had been playing the role of Lady Kira in the Wright. Being that I was dead until just a moment ago, my memory's a bit hazy. Maybe a couple of bucks or a slice of pizza would jog my Could you please do your best to remember? Attention! The High Priest says his memory is hazy. It is all coming back to me now. It is as Prosecutor Sadmati concluded. Bro, what the hell? I was slain by none other than Maya Fey. The High Priest's statement has proven my assertions with regard to his murder correct. No. But what about Acolyte Zealot? You were the one who killed him, weren't you? I know not about my disciple's murder. Furthermore, I have an alibi of my own. An alibi? Seriously? UGLY? Ha ha ha! It seems the testimony the defense had been hoping for is working against him. Now, Abbot in me, your testimony, if you please. And put on a goddamn shirt. Yeah, of course, I'm testifying here. I have an alibi. I have an ironclad alibi for the time during which the murder took place. Just past noon on the day before the rite, I was entertaining guests at my home. I was entertaining there. Oh, fuck. Stop doing that. And I believe my guests can corroborate this. You had guests? Just past noon. That's right about the time Zealot was murdered. Are you sure? Are you sure about that? Good one, Bill. Absolutely! Come to think of it, Rafa told me about a spirit's memory. A spirit's memory is cut off at the moment of death. Death. So even a spirit that is brought back after centuries doesn't grasp any time between the moment of his death and the moment that it's channeled? Yes, and yet it clearly recalls all the memories it had in life. Memories in life. It had in life. The High Priest seems to know exactly what he's talking about. So the question is, what would be the best angle of attack? Press or present? Everything? Okay, that's fine. It's good to know. I have an ironclad alibi for the time during which the murder took place. Shut up. You use the word alibi as if it were second nature. Hey, are you perhaps mocking me? Or is it perhaps the kingdom of Khura'in itself you wish to ridicule? Considering you've been killing lawyers for several decades now? Oh my god. We're not a bunch of country bumpkins here. We have plenty of courtroom dramas on TV. No. You're trying to kill all the lawyers. You don't know what alibi means. I'm in the right. Read the badge, bitch. Peace, I say. Mr. Wright, would you care to clarify your last statement? Please, don't take it the wrong way. It's just alibi is a rather technical term for a priest to use, so naturally. Well, maybe in this part of the world. I assure you, I know how to use the term. I'm terming here. In fact, I had even hoped for a chance to do so one day. I suppose that even I, a high priest, am not immune to such trivial worldly attachments. Oh, I see. Still, he seems unusually calm and composed. It's almost as if he had prepped himself for something like this. Mental note to look into the church later. Just past noon on the day before the ride, I was entertaining guests at my home. I do a ventriloquist act. Guests? And you were entertaining them personally? That I was. We gathered around the table for a most enjoyable conversation. He said his guests could corroborate his alibi. That can't be good for our case. Are you sure that was the same day as the murder? Maybe you've misremembered. Do not doubt my mnemonic faculties. I may have died, but my memories up to that point are crystal clear. They're connected in a chain of memories. Sorry, he's pretty thin-skinned for a priest. No, I guess I should have known better than to doubt his memory. A spirit's memory is cut off at the moment of death. Moment of death. So even a spirit is brought back after centuries doesn't sense any gap in time. Gap in time. Gap in time. Between the moment of its death and the moment it is channeled? Yes. And yet it clearly recalls all the memories it had in life. Had in life. Play the memory again, Phoenix. There's nothing better than enjoying Gil cuisine with dear friends. That way everyone's breath becomes equally Okay. We need to calm down the thesaurus talk. You're a murderer. If you know the word malodorous and use it casually in conversation like this, sus, as the kids say, or used to say. Hey, kids, Riz 67, do we still say, us youths, do we still say sus? How do you do, fellow kids? Right. And I believe my guests can corroborate this. And who exactly were your guests that day? Don't tell me they were rebels, so they can't be called here to testify. It was none other than his majesty, along with his family. He couldn't attend the rite due to work, so he stopped by ahead of time. My, how his daughter has grown. Wait a second. Let me set the record straight right now. I am not a rebel. Now let me set the record gay. I might be. Thank you for that wonderful meal, Abbott and me. Lady Idme's cooking simply cannot be beat. That's not your hair to swish. So there you have it. When exactly was His Majesty at your home? He was there from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Indeed, precisely the time period within which Acolyte Zealot was slain. Yes, and we had a rousing chat concerning the game of Cashew Demal. But I'll just have that added to the testimony. After all, it was I who visited the High Priest's home. My guests that day were His Majesty and his family. They visited from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Do I press that too? Yep. Okay. I was going to say, I know we have a lot of time-sensitive evidence. Your Majesty, are you sure his testimony is completely accurate? As sure can be. Why, I'll bet my hat in Magatama that you will not find any holes in this testimony. Oh, but how wonderful it is finally to have my actions be admissible as evidence in court. Oh, fucking weird thing to say. His Majesty was at my home during the exact time period of the murder. Come, let us put this behind us. I could not have possibly committed this crime. I'm exonerating here. How can you be so sure? What if the clock or watch you were using was off, or you misread the time? We know how to read. There was a clock right near the table, and it had the exact same time as my watch. Time is an illusion. Now do you understand, lawyer? As you can see, my alibi's airtight. Or do you still think I could have killed Acolyte Zealot? His Majesty's a witness. Are you satisfied now? There is not a single discrepancy in Abbott and Ms. alibi. If I give up now, it's all over. Now, hold on a second. Is there anything wrong with the High Priest testimony? Yes. I feel like it's got to be... Damn it. I thought there'd be a clock. Oh my god, she has the Steel Samurai watch. Okay, so you owned the watch. During the feast, which starts at noon on the day before the rite, must be finished by 3 p.m. the same day. I'm just going to say yes. There is a discrepancy in the High Priest testimony. There is? Well then, perhaps you could explain what it might be. Damn it, this is what was wrong with his testimony. He's too friendly with the judge. He knew the time of the crime? Oh yeah, I guess so. Bro, you were supposed to be dead. That's sus. Right, fellow youths? After Abbott in me was channeled, no one ever stated what time Acolyte Zealot was murdered. That also explains why they played the same flashback twice. No one ever stated what time Acolyte Zealot was murdered. Now that you mention it. Despite that, you claim to have an alibi from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. That means you knew that Acolyte Zealot was dead when you were still alive. Oh my god, the ghost. Wait, I think I saw something just now. Yeah, does Phoenix have superpowers by proximity? Is the Magatama, like, spirit radioactive? No. I must be imagining things. Oh my god, he can see ghosts. He can talk to Mia. Uh-oh. Don't tell Edgeworth. So tell me, how did you know what time the crime had been committed? About that, open your heart to the cards. Let the Holy Mother in. Why? We've been blessed with the High Priest's sacred words of prayer. All who serve her holiness must strive to banish worldly desires from their soul. Open your heart to the cards. Let the Holy Mother in. Purge your mind. I feel as if my very soul has been cleansed. You can't fool me. Prayer may banish worldly desires, but it can't make a contradiction disappear. Can we pre-prep the butterflies, please? How can you be so sure? What's that supposed to mean? This lawyer seems to think little of the power of Khura'in's prayer. Huh? That. Abbott Edme was at home during the crime, but knew of what happened at the hideout. I believe this can be explained thusly. He must have had a way to monitor the hideout from his home. What? You never cease to amaze me, prosecutor. As he has surmised, there was a listening device installed at the hideout. It enabled me to instantly learn of anything unusual, even when I was not there. Remember, the rebels had been using this as a top-secret hideout. Are we not going to talk about the fact that he was a rebel? It would be perfectly natural for them to install such an apparatus. Wait, come to think of it, when I was searching the rebel hideout... Huh? There's something under the banner. A microphone? What's this doing here? Here. Was someone trying to record something with it? Something with it? Something with it? Something with it? That was a listening device. That was a listening device? It starts recording whenever it detects movement. And I heard just such a recording after His Majesty and his family left. If you look in the desk in my study, you will find the tape in question. All right, then. Bailiff. Yes, Your Majesty. Go retrieve the tape in question from the High Priest's home. At once, Your Majesty. Alright, I guess we got like a 20-minute wait. The power of Khura'in is prayer. Prayer. Even a putrid brain such as yours should understand it by now. It's like the contradiction really did vanish. We shall ascertain the content of the recording once we have the tape. In the meantime, I would ask Abbot Inme to continue with his testimony.
My computer just crashed.
Son of a bitch. Very well. Witness testimony. I heard everything. I was entertaining His Majesty and his family when the crime occurred. When I listened to the tape later, I heard a man and a woman quarreling. It sounded like an altercation between Acolyte Zealot and Acolyte Faye. After that, there was a loud noise followed by haunting silence. The sound of silence. I have to find some way to attack his alibi. I was like, where's Maya? I'm so stupid. If only Maya were here. She has a way of putting me at ease. But seeing her like this is only creeping me out. Though the High Priest was a rebel, he was still a Khura'in's holy man. Therefore, take care in your question unless you invoke the ire of our people. I don't give a fuck what these people think of me. How dare he suspect the High Priest? May the Holy Mother strike him blind. He's a rebel! As if this wasn't hard enough already. Nice try, but I'll stop at nothing to find the truth. With a keen eye for detail, I heard everything. On everything or just one thing? Okay. When I listened to the tape later, I heard a man and a woman quarreling. Sounds like an altercation between Acolyte Zealot and Acolyte Faye. Oh, I guess a loud noise.
Hold it!
Followed by the haunting silence. A loud noise? I'd say that's worth looking into. It was a terrible crashing sound. Poor Acolyte Zealot, it must have felt so heavy. It must have been the sound of that stone slab falling over. Should I have him add that to his testimony? Add it! Yes, Phoenix, otherwise we die. Please add that statement to your testimony. As you wish. I would describe the noise as a terrible crash. Poor Zealot, it must have felt so heavy. Yes? Can I press it further? I guess it would kind of be the same thing as last time. How would you have this information if you weren't there? There's so many things that say he was killed with a bladed weapon, and he's like, it must have felt so heavy.
Press the new statement, yes.
Oh, okay.
Hold it!
Thank you. Pressing is helpful. You believe that terrible crash is connected to Acolyte Zealot's death? Yeah, the sound, no doubt, was poor Zealot's death. Now, Neil? Such a tragedy, for he was a fine disciple. Damn fine. A total smash. I would ask all here today to give a prayer for his departed soul. Zusere Madame Yomai. Okay. I had high hopes for that young man's future. Zusure Barame Yoma. Why do I feel like such a jerk for just trying to do my job right now? So all he knows about the crime is what he heard on the tape? He was with his majesty and his family at the time. Now that I have proven the soundness of my alibi, I believe it is about time for me to return to the Twilight Realm. Well, what's the rush? Why not enjoy some more time among the living? I better find a way to attack his alibi soon. I'll just have to press harder and hope something useful comes out. Am I pressing everything? Again? I was entering his majesty. I was entering his majesty is a very different sentence, Bill. I was entertaining his majesty and his family with the crime occurred. God damn it. You were entertaining his majesty and his family during the crime? Yes, I was entertaining his majesty and the family during the crime. Indeed. Indeed! My wife, Believe, was treating them to a wonderful home cooking. Your wife was there that day? Why, yeah. She was the one in the kitchen cooking up a storm the entire time. Come to think of it, I don't think I saw her at all that day. She takes her culinary duties most seriously, you see. That is why she was in the kitchen cooking without pause the entire day. I'm not adding that to my testimony. So the judge never saw Mrs. Inmee. Should I have Abbott Inmee add that? Yes. Is it tricking me? Please add that statement to your testimony. As you wish. I'm still pressing? Son of a bitch. What was your wife making that day? The menu that day featured Hatin Supai and Meltenmote. They are both traditional Khura'in dishes. I can't even begin to imagine what those are. Ah, yes. The exquisite zest of Hatin Supai and the supreme texture of melted mo. Lady Inmee's cooking that day was utterly unforgettable. Thank you. It brings me great joy to know you enjoyed your meal. Now, once his majesty and his family had left, when I listened to the tape later, I heard a man and a woman quarreling. You heard everything from a recording? Indeed. Each night I would secretly check what the listening device had recorded. I would have been in serious trouble with my lovely wife had she discovered my secret. Can you really tell what happened by the audio alone? Yeah, I got them descriptive closed captions. Long years of aesthetic training have sharpened my hearing. It is but a simple matter for me to ascertain a situation by the sounds I hear. Sometimes on the street they call me Daredevil. Practicing Khura'ism improves your hearing? Hearing is but one of the senses it can improve. If one can focus and attain in a piece, all 5 senses can be sharpened. Ugh, except that. My eyes. Why, the warbad over in the bazaar just cried. Did you not hear it? Give me a break. Mr. Wright, do you still feel the need to question the high priest? His alibi is as tight can be. Trust me, this is going so well. I better ask him about something else. I'm curious, Abbott Inmee. Did you stop by the rebel hideout after His Majesty left? Yeah, I thought it would be wise to assess the situation. But as I said before, there was nothing to see. The hideout appeared as it always had. And the victim's body? It was nowhere to be found. Acolyte Faye must have already disposed of it. Anything else incriminating? So when you saw the rebel hideout, it looks like it does in this photo? Yeah. Yeah, I would say that's how it appeared that day. Yeah. So the stone slab had been put back in place. Rebel hideout photo in the court record. Mr. Wright, is it not time to concede defeat? No, wait, I just need a little more time. If you insist. Oh boy. I was entertaining His Majesty and his family when the crime came. My wife, Believe, was in the kitchen cooking the entire time. When I listened to the tape later, I heard a man and a woman quarreling. It sounded like an altercation. After that, there was a loud noise, followed by a haunting silence. I would describe the noise as a terrible crash. Poor zealot. Must have been so heavy. I guess the thing that got updated, right? I would describe the noise as a terrible crash. Oh, because now it was updated to, it was put back, so how would he know what the noise was? I see.
Objection!
That was a long road to get to an update to the crime scene photo. Abbott and me, you said, and I quote, "Poor zealot, it must have felt so heavy." What do you think? Why do you think he felt something heavy? You said the hideout looked like it did in this photo. If so, there's nothing that would lead you to believe he had experienced a heavy feeling. I'm sweating you. The fact is, of course, a stone slab did fall over onto Acolyte Zealot, impaling him on the Warbad statue behind him. But that was only revealed through Her Benevolence's divination seance earlier. Would the defense please get to the point? My point is, simply hearing a crashing sound shouldn't have automatically led him to conclude the victim was crushed to death. I still don't see our point. Bro, I'm saying that the high priest knew. He knew how oh my god, they showed it. He knew how the victim was really killed. Why? Da-ding? That is information only the real killer could have known. Da-ding! I definitely saw it that time. Are we having fun, or does Phoenix have superpowers now? I've got the high priest spirit shaking in his boots, or should I say, sandals. Need I remind you, Abbot Idme was with his majesty at the time of the crime. Such an alibi preludes him from being the killer. Precludes. That's true, so he can't be the killer. However, he knew how Zealot was killed, something only the killer could know. Can this discrepancy be resolved somehow? Well, Mr. Wright, we're waiting for an explanation. I was just getting to that. Time to think of something quick. The high priest knew something only the killer could have known because... he heard it from the real culprit? The other two don't make sense. Yay! He must have heard how the victim died from the real killer. The real killer? Of course, that makes perfect sense. And if you hesitated for a second, you're an idiot, Bill. Okay, Phoenix, damn. I don't want to believe it, but this is just the only possible explanation. So, tell us, who is the real killer? It's got to be someone close to the high priest, someone without an alibi. His wife? Right? Or Maya. Yeah, because no one saw her. We just made a point that no one saw her cooking. Your Majesty, while you were visiting the high priest's home, you didn't see Mrs. Inme at all, did you? No, I never saw her, but... Wait, what does that have to do with anything? Did the high priest ever leave your sight? No, we were talking the entire time, and the food was brought right to the room's entryway. So the high priest has an ironclad alibi. But his wife does not. What the devil are you insinuating? Insinuating. I'm insinuating that Mrs. Inme might have killed Acolyte Zealot. I'm really turning this country upside down, aren't I? You have a lot of nerve making such a baseless allegation. She had no motive to kill Acolyte Zealot. He was like family to her. No, we can't entirely discount the idea. Especially if you consider that Mrs. Inme could have been the one posing as Lady Kira. Even a fool must temper his foolishness at times. Or do you truly believe Lady Kira would kill Acolyte Zealot though he was not a rebel? Or he was one. You don't seem to know who all the rebels are, buddy. As we all know, the high priest was secretly a rebel. It would follow that his favorite disciple could very well be a rebel too. Are you suggesting that Mrs. Inme killed her husband as well? As sad as it is to think she'd kill her own husband to rid the kingdom of rebels, I don't think we can rule it out. He's pissed. He spoke. Yikes. You claim my wife is that rebel hunting lady Kira, and that she slew both Zealot and myself. My lovely wife, that is utterly impossible. Yikes. I have never seen the high priest so angry. It is as Abbot Inme stated. As Abbot Inme. And the accused has already been found guilty of his murder. It is far too late to overturn it. What? That's right, Mr. Wright. Now, apologize to the good priest before he gets angry again. Quickly now. No, I'm not going to apologize. The true identity of Lady Kira is a major piece to this trial's puzzle. Admit it, Abbot Inme. Your wife, Lady Inme, killed you. Yet even now you continue to lie in an effort to protect her. Whipped. Someone shout. How absurd! It appears the lawyer has forgotten. My lovely wife could not possibly battle the rebels in the guise of Lady Kira. For we were blessed by her holiness, and she is with child. Praise be to the Holy Mother. Do we ever get can science verify that for us real quick? Emma, spray some luminol fluid on her or something. I completely forgot about that. That abominable Lady Kira figure who slew me and Acolyte Zealot was the accused. This is bad, but I can't give up now. Don't forget, my client doesn't have the strength to fight rebels either. Good old Maya, weak as a pregnant Lady Faye. That's what they call her back home in Japan, California. How could a weak... Mom, forgive me. How could a weak young woman like her possibly lift anything other than a casserole out of the oven? Am I right, fellas? That's... shit like that annoys my mom, so it always lives in my brain. That and when a woman's running in high heels during an action scene. You foolish oaf of a lawyer. If only you were as blessed as Lady Inme. What? You wish I was pregnant? Surely the accused possesses the strength, or should I say the power. The power to battle those black-hearted rebels. What are you talking about? My good prosecutor, I see you have come to the same conclusion as I. Such keen insight for details, only one truth that you have figured it out as well, Abbot Inme. May I ask you to explain it to this putrid-brained lawyer? Certainly, for I cannot allow him to frame my lovely wife for murder. Foreign devil! Your Majesty, allow me to testify as to how Maya Fey is the murderous Lady Kira. Well, if it would assuage your anger, then by all means, please testify. Acolyte Faye channeled Lady Kira's spirit. Motherfucker, you just found out she could do that. Up until now, no one believed she could. She's a spirit medium who knows Lady Kira's true name, so she could have done it. So it was the real Lady Kira who returned to root out the rebels among us. She attacked and killed me with a strength far beyond any mortal woman. But... Do you understand now? Murder by a spirit channeling explains everything. This is the only way the accused could have defeated one rebel after another. Indeed, I am a living, or shall I say, dead proof of a terrible power. Dead Proof would be a great band name. Maya's ability to channel spirits. It's come back to haunt her. Haunt her, I hardly. Now, is it not time to let it go and move on, Defense? No, never. I'll never give up. Now what? Think. How can I prove that Maya couldn't have channeled Lady Kira? Maya doesn't know how to read. Yo, what up? I'm Maya Fey. I'm 26 years old. I never learned how to fucking read. Acolyte Faye channeled Lady Kira. Oh, press present. Ooh. Acolyte Faye channeled Lady Kira's spirit. She's a spirit medium who knows Lady Kira's true name, so she could have done it. So it was the real Lady Kira who returned to root out the rebels of Mogus. She attacked and killed me with She's a spirit medium who knows Lady Kira's true name. Vulnerable. Find dragons. The priestess acting Lady Kira's representative must know her name. That name is... Oh, I know the name! Speaking this name is unforgivable. Lock this knowledge deep in your heart and devote yourself to prayer. The Tome of Secrets? Is it the Tome of Secrets? I don't feel confident about this. I feel like I'm just going to get her more into trouble. Lady Kira's name wasn't Ishma. The Tome of Secrets is only given to the priestess who performs the purification rite. Is this your proof that my client could have channeled Lady Kira? Yes, indeed. For it contains the true name of Lady Kira, a secret only revealed within. Abbott and me. I'm afraid you're mistaken. This couldn't have been used to channel Lady Kira. What nonsense! Mr. Wright, would you care to explain? This is why my client couldn't have channeled Lady Kira. Oh, because it's in Khura'inese. And Maya doesn't know Khura'inese? I didn't think I would be pointing to something. Fuck. Why couldn't Maya have channeled Lady Kira? I guess the red letters, right? No? A hint then, please. Oh, is it the mark on the mask? Okay, what is it then? Okay, then just say yes. It's the mark on the mask. Right? God, that was a while ago. I remember, yeah, it was like there was a sister in discrepancy over who did it. Right? Lady Kira's face is hidden behind a mask in the Tome of Secrets. You both need a name and a face to channel a spirit. Oh. I thought it was going all the way back to identifying who was under the mask by the mark on their face. Am I thinking of a different part that'll come later? Without a face, it would have been impossible for my client to channel Lady Kira. Oh my. Therefore, the claim that she became Lady Kira by means of spirit channeling is patently false. That was close. I thought we were getting at we don't really know who Lady Kira was. Yeah. And with Lady Kira out of the equation, my client had no motive to commit murder. But then, who is the rebel hunting Lady Kira we've been reading about in the paper? Yeah. Yes. Who is the other suspect, if indeed there is one at all? I told you it was the wife. Let us hear the defense's brilliant deduction. Think. The true identity of Lady Kira is the key to solving both murders. I thought Mrs. Inmee was suspicious, but her pregnancy takes her out of the running. Ma'am, pee on this stick. I need to know if this pregnancy is real. And Mr. Arbol is a rebel, so that doesn't make sense. That leaves us with, Mr. Wright, you have that look again. The one where you know you have to say something, but you can't figure out what it is. This is my chance to really turn up the heat. I'll just have to stir the pot till something floats to the top. Ew. Good one, Phoenix. Your Majesty, I know who's been posing as the rebel hunting Lady Kira. You do? Are you sure about that? Yes, completely. I sense that I may regret this, but please go on and explain. Thank you, Your Majesty. Is it not still the wife? She usually plays the part of Lady Kira in the purification rite. It's still the wife. Rifa! She might channel spirits. You don't fucking know. Prey Zealot? Because he had, like, the fake name.
Take that!
The true identity of the rebel... Yes, thank you, God. The true identity of the rebel hunting Lady Kira we seek is... Choose you 2. Thank you for the 5. It was Emma. Damn it, you're right. What was I thinking?
Oh, praise a lot.
Yeah, praise a lot. The true identity... It took you 3 streams. The true identity of the rebel hunting Lady Kira we seek is... Praise a lot. What's this? The high priest's murdered disciple was Lady Kira, you say? It's also hard when you keep saying just the last name. I'm not going to say Zealot. I'm going to say Zealot. Peace. I say peace. The defense will continue. Yes, Your Majesty. I whittled down the list of suspects until there was only one left. But a process of elimination is not the same as solid evidence. I assume you have evidence to back up your claim. Yes, of course. I will have some in a moment, that is. At least I hope so. Maya wasn't Lady Kira, neither was Mrs. Idme or any of the other possibilities. That leaves Zealot, and I have the evidence to prove it. The evidence that proves Acolyte Zealot was posing as Lady Kira is this. Lady Kira returns to battle rebels. Lady Kira-like figure that appeared 2 years... Oh, 2 years ago? So the newspaper? The warning? The rebel. Yeah, because he entered the home, so yeah. Okay. The warning. Where'd it go? There it is.
Take that!
This is why I hate taking breaks in the middle of fucking cases, or in the middle of fucking trials. This is what proves that Acolyte Zealot was Lady Kira. Lady Kira's warning letter. How absurd. What could that possibly prove? Prosecutor Sadmati, shut the hell up. You stated that this warning letter proved that my client was Lady Kira, and the reason you gave was the high priest's house was locked tight. But there was another member of the family who lived there. Ah. Therefore, Acolyte Zealot could have delivered the warning anytime he wanted. What is he talking about? That's just not possible. I was saying Lady Kira was not the culprit, but rather the victim. It's exactly what I'm saying. But that would overturn the entire premise of this case. This trial has proceeded on the assumption Lady Kira was behind the serial killings. But if Lady Kira is one of the victims, who was the killer and what was their motive? The only suspect left is Mrs. Idme, and there's only one possible motive. What if Mrs. Idme is a rebel? What? Fiend! You're still bent on casting suspicion upon my lovely wife. Blasphemer! You have no evidence of this. Repent for the mistrust in your soul. Well, you have no evidence either. After all, the dagger with my client's prints on it wasn't what killed Acolyte Zealot. And the plumed Punisher theme that he heard could have been an alarm clock. That means all the evidence linking her to the crime has been called into question. Was Lady Idme a rebel, and did she pose as Lady Kira to kill Acolyte Zealot? Or was Acolyte Zealot a rebel who was the accused... This makes me dizzy. And was the accused the Lady Kira who killed him? I would say either scenario is just as likely. What are we to do now? The alarm clock, you say? Do you mean the one in the rebel hideout? Yes, but what of it? Hey, so that's it. Hey. What's got into him? Oh my god. Abbott, in me, just what is so comical? Forgive my outburst. That has simply tickled my funny bone. What did? The theme song came from the Plume Punisher clock, you say? Heh, that... Oh, is the Steel Samurai watch, because they're the same theme. That alarm cannot possibly have gone off. What makes you say that? The clock was working just fine the last time I checked. Try using your head for a change. Would not the existence of a secret hideout be given away if an alarm kept going off? Wait, you don't mean... Indeed, we leave the alarm switched off at all times. No! No! Give me my Hank Hill now. In that case, I am sad to say that the defense's claim does not hold water. Would you care to respond, Mr. Wright? Oh, I've got face piss all over me. This can't be happening. Not now. This should put an end to the lawyer's futile struggles. The theme song the victim heard was from the accused's strap, just as we suspected. Therefore, the accused is the rebel hunting Lady Khura'in and the victim's killer. I need an opening. Something I could raise an objection to. That Plume Punisher theme song Acolyte Zealot heard in his final moments. I too heard it, by the way, the listening device. But, did you really? If you had heard it, why didn't you testify to that fact before? Is it not obvious? I did not know such a tune could become a key matter of dispute. Yes, the matter of the theme song came up before Abbot Idmi was channeled. All right. Well then. What if he's lying about the clock's alarm being switched off? Miserable wretch! That would be a pointless lie, one easily disproven. If you check the clock, you will see that the alarm is in fact switched off. Come to think of it. What a fine item. And this switch. Excuse me. God. We set the switch back into the off position before we left. I remember hearing it clearly. Those distinctive taiko drums in the intro are etched in my mind. They went... Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Daka-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Dan-da-dan, dan-da-dan, dan-da-dan. Distinctive taiko drums in the intro. Wait a minute, you fucking fake fan. You live-action remake only imposter, you casual tourist. The trial has gone on far too long. Shall we move ahead to the verdict phase now? By all means, and let us also return Abbot Idmi's spirit to the Twilight Realm. Before I go, let me say a word to my darling wife. No, fuck you. She's a murderer. So are you. Now, hold on just 1 minute. Your Majesty. Yes. The High Priest's statement is inconsistent with a certain piece of evidence. It is. Still you writhe in the defiance of your fate. The very sight reminds me of a tormented soul writhing in flames, like my swordsman. You won't be saying that once I show you the evidence. Now all I have to do is pick the right one. This piece of evidence is inconsistent with the statement about the taiko drum intro. Okay, I know it's the samurai watch in the photo. Is that what I'm doing right now?
No.
Got it. The strap?
Yes.
Thank you. This happens every once in a while. I'm like 3 steps ahead, and then it's like, he was wearing a yellow shirt. I was wearing a shirt, but how do you prove it was yellow? And it's like, present the yellow shirt? No, present the thread. And then present the yellow shirt later. The strap. Thank you. Shit drives me nuts. This is what's inconsistent with this statement. My client's plumed Punisher strap. What does that have to do with anything? It plays the Plumed Punisher theme song, and here it is, the theme to the Plumed Punisher, Warrior of Neo Twilight Realm. Why, I lost my virginity to this song. Are we gonna play the whole thing? My copyright. Do you see what I mean? The music the victim heard in his final moments might not have been the Plume Punisher theme song. Huh? I'm afraid I'm not following you. What was it if not the Plumed Punisher theme? In his final moments, Acolyte Zealot heard the Steel Samurai theme. Edgeworth busts out with a fucking orchestra to play it. There are no taiko drums in the intro of the Plumed Punisher theme. Plumed. So what Acolyte Zealot actually heard in his final moments was the theme of the Steel Samurai, warrior of Neo Old Tokyo. Peace, 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 I say, Mr. Wright. What is this Steel Samurai of which you speak? The Steel Samurai, warrior of Neo Old Tokyo. Phoenix, you work a commission? Why are we saying the full title? Is an action hero show from America. Rated PG. The movie is this Friday. Oh god, it went on its own. If you didn't know about the Steel Samurai, you could easily mistake the two. The Plume Punisher theme is a total rip, very similar to it for legal purposes. If you didn't know about the Steel Samurai, you could easily mistake the two. But the fact that Acolyte Zealot heard music from an American action hero show is irrefutable evidence that there was the accused in the secret hideout. They should be glad Edgeworth isn't there to info dump about the Steel Samurai. Agreed. Or disagree. I wish he was. Actually, no. You have it backwards. But backwards? That's right. Miss Faye met an avid Plumed Punisher fan here in Khura'in. And as a token of their friendship, she traded a certain Steel Samurai item she had for the Plumed Punisher strap. I'm not getting good oxygen. Hold on. Oh. I wish I had money for a standing desk, because then I wouldn't have this problem. And this avid Plumed Punisher fan was the one who killed Acolyte Zealot. Yes. And that avid fan is none other than the High Priest's wife, Believe in Me. Do you have evidence to back up this claim, Mr. Wright? For as forgiving as the Holy Mother is, I doubt she would tolerate yet another dose of your baseless slander. I suggest you prepare to face yourself to face her holiness's wrath. It's hard to read. Oh, I'm prepared to turn this entire case upside down, that is. This is my last chance. Better take a deep breath and review the evidence. No, this is the part I figured out a while ago. Very well then. Please present your evidence, if you would, defense. The evidence that proves Miss Sidney was the one who killed Acolyte Zealot is this picture. Because she's in it, wearing it. It's right here in the family photo. Proof that Miss Sidney and Miss Faye traded items featuring their favorite characters. A family photo. And what and what exactly should we be looking at here? God, is it my allergies? Like, I'm so gunky today. The proof that they exchanged items featuring their favorite characters is right here. It's the Steel Samurai watch, right? Yeah. Thank you. Robeson, thank you for the 5. Tradesies, no backsies. Yeah. Look at Mrs. Idme's left wrist. Bum, bum, bum. Next to the cheese sticks and ketchup. A rare delicacy. Just like I got at that One Piece restaurant several years ago. Do you remember that? The cheese sticks, and then the dipping sauce wasn't marinara, it was just ketchup. Yeah. It's because we sat in the back to have seafood boil. It's a long story. Patreon plug, it's all there. You can see the Steel Samurai's trade. Ironically, I'm scared to go back now because now I don't want One Piece spoilers. When I walked in, I'm like, there's just anime stuff. Cool. I don't want to get recognized with the One Piece. You can see the Steel Samurai's trademark top knot right there. Which clearly makes this a Steel Samurai watch. Yeah. Why? I never knew your wife had such hobbies, evidently. This family photo was taken right before Acolyte Zealot was murdered. By that point, my client had the Punisher strap. I'm still picturing like Jay Barenthal Punisher. By that point, my client had the Punisher strap and Mrs. Inmee had the samurai watch. So what the victim heard in his final moments was none other than the sound of the watch Mrs. Inmee was wearing. I wish to amend my testimony. What I thought was taiko drums was something else. My wife never had such a watch. She can't tell time. It's the truth I tell you. You must believe me, your majesty. I'm floundering here. Be not deceived by the defense's loyally chicanery. Let's go. Better Call Saul reference. Let's go. You'll love to see it. Be not deceived by the defense's loyally chicanery. Now what? He's been pretty quiet up to this point. What does he have up his sleeve? There is a big gaping hole in his flimsy claim. Let us fill that big hole. A big gaping hole? I don't think so. I keep it tight for my husband. Oh no, I'm afraid it is there, all right. Just like the big gaping hole in your putrid brain. He gets an email from Edgeworth. Do not say big gaping hole to my husband ever again. Just like the big gaping holes in your putrid brain. My brain is neither putrid nor full of holes. I'm not a zombie after all. Heh, says the dead lawyer walking. He who is narrow of vision focuses on what is before him, never seeth the big picture. Whew. Or as they say in your country, you cannot see the forest for the trees. For it is as you said, and Lady Idme the rebel slew Acolyte Zealot, the rebel hunting Lady Kira. Then the rebel hunter would have been dead before the high priest was slain. That means the high priest could not have been slain by the rebel hunting Lady Kira. How could I have missed that? Wait, what? So tell me, who are you gonna say killed the high priest now? No. I guess the zealot killed the high priest and then Mrs. Inmee killed the zealot? Do you finally understand the sheer size of the holes that riddle your putrid brain? I'm in hot water now. I don't have any other suspects in the high priest murder. You mindless zombie, you should have begun your journey into the Twilight Realm long ago. Now let it go and move on. No, I will never give up. I'll grab it tightly and never move. I just need to think things through and figure out who really killed the high priest. Oh my god. No, not this. Oh no, not this. If Acolyte Zealot had been Lady Kira, he couldn't have killed the high priest. So the question is, who did? Maybe I can get to the bottom of this by reviewing the evidence of this case in order. Oh my god. What evidence could tell me something about the crime scene before? Don't laugh at me. Don't you laugh at me. What evidence could tell me something about the crime scene before the murder? Oh my. I don't like that it moved on its own. Maya's testimony? Pew. The spring was stained red before the rite. Oh, right. Maya said that the spring had been stained red. That's so hard to read with all this shit moving. Maya said the spring had been stained red before the rite even began. Choose you 2. Thank you for another 5. Activate your trap card, Phoenix. Don't let Nayuta send you to the Shadow Realm. Oh, he's going to the Shadow Realm. I'm sending there myself if he calls me a hole one more time. Maya said the spring had been stained red before the rite even began. The spring was already red before the high priest murdered because of the zealot's blood. Yeah, now I'm getting... I'm falling for its trap card, and I'm not gonna. It was zealot's blood. It's what I was saying. He was killed... Wait. Yeah, he was killed first. Pew! The spring was stained red by zealot's blood. Zealot's blood. That's right. Zealot had spilled a lot of blood. Had been killed in the rebel hideout the day before the Wright, and his blood had flowed into the spring. Wait a second. The high priest knew that Zealot had been killed in the hideout, so why didn't he report it to the authorities? If Maya had been the killer, he could have easily had her arrested on the spot. Why didn't the high priest inform the authorities right then? To keep the hideout hidden. Pew! He wanted to keep the hideout secret. What 3D bullshit is this? Put on your glasses, everyone. Oh my god. If he reported Zealot's murder, the authorities would find out about the hideout. That's what he was worried about. But by going through with the Wright, the high priest risked having Maya see the spring running red with blood. This is why I like turning off the transparency. It's so hard to read when there's shit moving behind it. Why did he have to go through with the Wright? Did he want to kill Maya? Set up the scene? I guess the scene because of the snow, which we still haven't really talked about. Pew! Use the Wright to cover things up. He wanted to set up the crime scene to conceal the hideout. But how is he planning on concealing the source of the blood in the spring? He used his own blood. Because he... Wait. He used his own blood? Maya didn't bleed. The spring wasn't emptied, so he used his own blood. Stained the spring with his own blood. He concealed the source of the blood with his own. That was how he kept the rebel hideout a secret. It's all starting to fall into place. Is it? I know who killed the high priest. It was... Maya. Trust? Oh, okay. I see what we're getting at. That's where I was confused, too. He intentionally put himself there to cover it up. Would this tell me if I got something wrong? Tarrus' death was unaliving. All right, everyone consider dropping a buck. I think I might get demonetized for the text being on the screen like that. I can't believe it. The high priest took his own life to keep the rebel hideout a secret. Brain blast. The high priest wasn't murdered by anyone. He unalived his own life to keep the rebel hideout a secret. What? 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 What's this? The high priest unalived? I have never heard anything more absurd. The lawyer has placed a stain on the good priest's death with his putrid brain. Its putrid gaping holes are as large as the hole in his logic. So airtight and ready to be fucked? What hole? You still fail to understand. You truly cannot see the forest for the trees. You claim the high priest took his own unaliving. But have you considered who brought the dagger to the Plaza Devotion? I'm gonna sneeze. Yeah, my allergies are real bad. Maybe it's the storm. After the high priest was killed, the dagger was thrust into Acolyte Zealot's dead body. Only the accused, my Faye, could have done it. In ears as prosecutor Sadmati says, your claim is rather porous in its logic, and your evidence is too weak. You cannot prove that the high priest took his unaliving to conceal the rebel hideout. Right. The dagger was impaled in Zealot's body, but his body had been placed at the plaza the previous day. Well, Mr. Wright, would you care to respond? Zealot's body was already in the plaza the day before the Wright, but what if the dagger was already in him at the same time? The dagger was never at the inner sanctum. Did he die by a different weapon? Oh, yeah, the statue, right? Or no, I'm getting confused again. Fuck, this is really hard when I didn't get to talk to either character before they died. He died by a different weapon. Of course, that's it. What is it? There is no need to move the dagger. It had already been stabbed into Acolyte Zealot's body the day before the Wright. What? So that means... What does that mean? It means the dagger wasn't the weapon that took the High Priest's life. But no weapon was ever found at the Inner Sanctum. If you will not listen to reason, then I insist you prove your assertion. Show us what you believe the real murder weapon to be. The real weapon? I've got nothing, but I know there had to have been a weapon there. Maybe if I think back on the trial thus far, I'll spot the clue I need. It's the bird statue. I thought we did this already. Or am I thinking of the investigation? Well, would the defense care to tell us what the real weapon is? This is what really killed the High Priest. The Warbad statue. Yeah. I feel... Did we not do this in the trial already? I guess it was the investigation. I just remember, like, having to piece it together. Yeah, because we were telling Rafa. It was like, oh my god, it was the statue. But yeah, the statue. I feel like I did... Huh. What really killed him has been at the Inner Sanctum all this time. This is why I don't like chopping up, like, trials and investigations. Because I'm going to forget what happened. Because it's been 2.5, 3 days. And its lethality has already been demonstrated by the late Acolyte Zealot. That's right. It was the Warbad statue. Did he just beat himself up with his own rosary? You believe that the statue claimed both victims' lives. Would you care to chime in, Abbott and me? No, he lies. Pay him no heed, he's a witch. Why, it's... Uh-oh. Lady in me. Darling? Don't you think this has gone long enough? But believe, no, your majesty, my wife knows nothing. Please, Abbott and me, let your wife speak. Now, lady in me, please continue, if you would. It's that time again. And what time would that be? Time to shut the fuck up. 2:30 in the afternoon. The time my husband conducts his daily prayers. And the time Khura'in was slain. What a cool, tragic use of the Steel Samurai theme. That sound, it's the Steel Samurai alarm. I too like to pray at the same time as my dear husband, so I set an alarm to remind me each day, but I had no idea it would come to this. No, stop! She knows not what she speaks! Your Majesty, I am the one who slew Acolyte Zealot. Oh my god. Can we get a robe for Maya when the soul leaves the body? Abbot in me, bailiff, summon a physician at once. For Maya, right? We don't need to send the ghost to a hospital. The physician is now attending the High Priest, so there is no need to fear. Now, let us continue. And what about the half of him? Yeah, thank you, King. Do I still have to pay for that? She's still under my insurance for another year. What about the half of him called Maya that's still living among the living? Mrs. Inme, will you tell us everything you know? The truth is, I am a rebel just like my husband. This tragedy unfolded before the rite, during the Feast of Blessings. I had gone to the rebel hideout to prepare it for Datz's escape. And that's when Acolyte Zealot suddenly appeared? Yes. Khura'in was shocked when he saw me there. Acolyte Zealot did not know you were a rebel. I do not believe he did. I believe he was there simply to investigate the hideout. And then he suddenly came face to face with Mrs. Inme. So the true identity of the rebel hunting Lady Kira was Praise-a-Lot. Yes, he was a member of the secret police, serving directly under the Minister of Justice. The what? The what? The what? The what? The secret police? And this is what he said to me. I can kill rebels with impunity. The Justice Minister has my back. He was using his position within the secret police to deal us rebels a heavy blow. But murder sanctioned by the Crown is still murder. Even without the DC... fuck, what voice did I give this guy? Even without the DC Act, Dirk and his insurgent scum buddies' days are numbered. Numbered. What was that supposed to mean? Supposed to mean. Let's just say I got a little trick up my sleeve, so I'd watch if I were you. If I were you. If I were you. If I were you. You gotta define attitude like one of them dragon dupes. Dragon dupes. Sounds like dragon poops. Dragon poops, dragon poops. It's almost time for dragon poops. The trick up Minister Inga's sleeve was Lady Kira. No, this can't be. My father would never. Kiddo, this must be the bolt out of the blue. This must be a bolt out of the blue for Rafa. That explains why Acolyte Zealot abandoned his real name. Yes. He even went as far as covering up the tattoo that all Khura'inist clergy members receive. Lady Kira was a member of the secret police. That explains why no order was given to investigate her attacks. You never found that weird, my guy? First time your country's been corrupt? I guess I'm not alone in hearing this for the first time. But, this cannot be. Is this true? The Justice Minister is sanctioning state-sponsored murder? Peace. Now, Lady Inme, please continue. Praise suddenly lunged at me. That's when I pushed the stone slab towards him with all my might. But I never meant for what happened next to occur. Allow me to take it from here. Abbot Inme, are you sure you're alright now? I'm sorry you had to see that, but you need not worry about me. I'm already dead. Please, we need to know what was so important that you would unalive your life. After I learned that my wife had accidentally slain Zealot, I chilled his body with snow to make it seem like as if he had died more recently than he did. Then I later moved it to the Plaza Devotion and inserted the dagger into his wound. The plaza was empty at that time, for it was before prayer time had started. Finally, I placed his body in the prayer pose, knowing that no one would notice anything was wrong until the rite had concluded. It is perfectly plausible that one would disturb... It is perfectly plausible that no one would disturb him if he seemed to be praying. We do treasure our prayer time, after all. So you admit you tried to pin this crime on Maya Fey. Yeah, this was all my doing. I never told my wife of my plan, for surely she would have tried to stop me. How did you get Miss Fey's fingerprints on the dagger? I had to hold it while we were rehearsing the rite the day before. And right before the rite, I drugged her with a sleeping agent. Then I put Lady Kira's robes over the warbad statue. That means Maya was probably already groggy by the time the rite started. Finally, I ended my aliving, to ensure that the crime would appear to have been by Acolyte Fey's own hand. But when your body was discovered, Lady Kira's robes were on the ground. How did they end up there if they were on the statue? After I impaled on one of the statue's dagger-like feathers, I used the last ounce of my strength to hurl my body backwards. As I did, I grabbed onto the robes, taking them with me as I fell back onto the ground. How terrible! What possessed you to do such a thing? You needn't have committed unaliving simply to frame the accused. Prosecutor Sadmati, as one well-versed in our kingdom's legal system, I would expect you of all people to understand. Understand what? This kingdom's legal system, Mrs. Inme's crime, Your thing? It can't be... That'd be sadder than sad. Why, I believe the defense knows of what the High Priest speaks. Yes, I finally understand. This explains why the High Priest died. I'm assuming the law book? Yeah.
Take that!
The Defense Culpability Act. Circumstantial evidence supports Miss Inme's killing of Acolyte Zealot in self-defense. Yeah. However, it would be next to impossible to prove it without a lawyer. That's a cool twist. I didn't think of things like that. What do people do when they genuinely need a lawyer? Well, they're fucked, because in this world, all the lawyers are gone because they killed them all, or threatened to. However, it would be next to impossible to prove it without a lawyer. That's why the High Priest wanted to pin the crime on Maya Fey. I fail to see what that has to do with his untimely demising. In Khura'in, the divination seance is the most important piece of trial evidence. The High Priest wanted to frame Miss Fey as a serial killer. It was a clever plan in which he made sure he'd see Lady Kira in his final moments. The lawyer speaks true. That is why I placed Lady Kira's robes upon the Warbad statue. It made it seem that Acolyte Fey was the rebel hunting Lady Kira. But, are you saying you used my divination seance to produce false evidence? Forgive me, your benevolence, but it was the only way to help my lovely wife. If you'd approached me first, I could have proved that the murder was in self-defense. Perhaps, but I had little faith in lawyers despite being a rebel. That's kind of cool. I like approaching that whole recurring topic from that angle. Like, not only is it dangerous, and it also puts way too much pressure on Rafa to interpret the only evidence. It's also like it's kind of the chaos of, well, with no one, without an expert or someone to help you or look into it or defend you or plead your case, you just have to do crazy things to try to manipulate the magic evidence, I guess, right? The seance in your favor. How utterly foolish to cast away one's life for such a reason. There must have been other ways to cover up the crime. That's your response, dude? Yet, had I done so, my wife would rush to my defense, and when the case went to trial, she would suffer the same... Yeah, that's cool, too. So is that how that would work? Does he mean she would investigate and then technically be his lawyer? Or just the act of defending him makes you defense culpable? Am I overthinking it? She would suffer the same fate as I under the Defense Culpability Act, right? Had I done so, my wife would rush to my defense, and when the case went to trial, she would suffer the same fate. He means like she would essentially be his defense lawyer. She'd basically conduct an investigation and try to defend him. That sounds almost like if she was like, I don't think my husband would kill someone. They're like, you're culpable for defending him. But right, like she would essentially, in a sense, represent him, is what he's kind of getting at. She would suffer the same fate as I under the Defense Culpability Act. I could not have lived with myself had she been convicted because of that fiendish man. This cannot be all I have done under the laws of our kingdom. It has all been... Poor Rafa, she's really taking this hard. But I can't say I'm surprised. Weird to say, it's very Minority Report, right? It's like, here's the vision, we're interpreting it like these kids are basically doing this magic shit and people live or die based on it. Mr. Phoenix Wright, it is time to show the might of your legal prowess. You mustn't allow another innocent soul to be charged under that despicable law. Of course, I'll do whatever I can. What I have done to you and Acolyte Fey is unforgivable. I can only offer my most humble of apologies. Your Majesty. Yes. I ask that you please look after my wife. Sweet, I get 2 wives. You have my word. Your benevolence, it is time that I return to the Twilight Realm. The Magatama are parting, if you please. And get this girlie some robes, or a towel. Very well. Your benevolence, please, allow me the honor. Yes, it would be more fitting for you to send him on his way. So how's that going to come into play later? The unmagatama. This is in me. Darling, I'm so glad I was able to see you one last time. Thank you for everything. I'm sorry to leave you like this, my love. Okay, at least you put the robes back on. But now you can watch over me from the world beyond. Yeah, always and forever. And with every breath I take, my darling, I'll be thinking of you. Or with every breath I'll take, my darling, I'm thinking of you. Fuck, wrong character. That's nice. I like, instead of just having like a freak out and throwing hair or whatnot, I like having like a cutscene instead. Oh my god, he was naked. That's cool. I like that there's the 3D cutscene now. It's very specific. Farewell, my darling Trust. The High Priest has returned to the Twilight Realm. Maya! I feel great. I guess that means he didn't leave any regrets behind. My legs feel really stretched out. Like, I feel like I could do all kinds of weird shit. Oh! But what about the trial, Nick? It's over. It was a sad reality born of love and a great tragedy born of the Defense Culpability Act. That's another thing I kind of like, too, is because he was such a respected priest, hopefully this will engage and rattle the people into a demand for change. Well, I see no need to continue this trial. Robeson, thank you for the $5 donation. Does the prosecution have anything to say? Mr. Phoenix Rat, I owe a debt to you, one that I will pay back in court someday. Now, to deliver today's verdict and overturn that of yesterday's trial, with respect to all current and previous charges against them, I hereby declare the accused, Maya Fey, and her defense, Phoenix Wright. Hooray! Ooh. It's way cooler than confetti. Can you paint with all the colors of the law? Oh, is that why he has a butterfly as well? Huh. Just in time, am I right, Maya? Because they got let out at 4:20. Can we get a nice in chat for 4:20? So I was thinking, Nick, the legal system here is really stacked against the defense. Let's get the fuck out of here. The legal system here is really stacked against the defense. It's totally unfair. Yeah. They even forced the High Priest to make the ultimate sacrifice just to protect his wife. It's just so sad. Protect the status quo or join the revolution. If the real Lady Kira were here, I wonder which side she would... Phoenix, really? You joined the revolution, Lars. Fuck, what's that game called? It's the video game with Jack Black. What do you do with a bunch of kids who just bang their heads all day? You start a revolution, Lars. What game is that? Chat. Jack Black. Video game. Bowser now? Yeah, Brutal Legend. That was it. Your benevolence. Uh-huh. What? What? I was, just wondering. Are you alright? Quiet, you. How could I possibly be alright? Yeah, she's not doing well at all. Who do you think you are, suddenly appearing before me? Trampling my insights underfoot and plunging the Hall of Justice into utter chaos? It's not my fault your system's fucked. I'm just hanging out. You even desecrated my mother and father's teachings, you soulless infidel? No, we do not say the I word. Of course, that was a bit more extreme than... Oof, that was a bit more extreme than usual. What am I to do? I had always believed that communing with a victim's midama would lead me to the absolute truth. But each time you overturned my insights, it was revealed that they served to support false charges rather than the truth. I'm left now with that heavy truth in my heart. Sorry, Rafa. Perhaps I'm not worthy of hearing the voices of the midama. That's where you're wrong, your benevolence. What? Maya? Why were you question marks? We were just talking. How dare you? Your role is to bring forth the voices of the midama into our world. If you don't do it, who will? You know nothing, Maya Fey, except all the things I don't know how to do. It was spirit channeling, not a divination seance that brought the truth to light. How dare an outsider like you employ the Queen's secret art? But what can I do? My spiritual power does not even approach yours. Haha, is it not a cruel joke? The royal priest is bested by a lowly outsider. Don't be so hard on yourself. Why not? It is worth at least a laugh or two. You shouldn't talk like that. Huh? Listen, your benevolence. You were just fulfilling your duty, weren't you? And you're the only one capable of performing the divination seance, right? The station of royal priestess is not something to abandon lightly. The station of royal priestess? The people of your kingdom believe in you, but if you really mean all that you just said, then what are they supposed to believe in? But the ding, you know not of what you speak. Actually, I kind of do. After all, I'm only here training so I could become the master of my village back home. A village master, you say? I did not know. It seems I owe you an apology. For even today, I called you a neophyte practitioner. It's okay. I went to neophyte practitioner school. It's all right, your benevolence. Thank you for finally acknowledging me. A future queen and a future village master. I guess it shouldn't be a surprise, considering they may have had a common ancestor. Why was that hard to read? Maya's right. Maya's right, your benevolence. Barbed head. You can call me Phoenix now. Your insights were a crucial piece of evidence in this last trial. It doesn't matter if they weren't always 100% accurate. You should be proud of what you did. You played an important role in assuring that justice was served. Besides, your insights aren't the problem here. It's your kingdom's legal system. Without lawyers, your insights have come to be accepted as the sole truth. And the Defense Culpability Act, which gave rise to that, is the root of it all. But that is dangerous thinking of a rebel. That is the dangerous thinking of a rebel. Well, then throw the horns, girl. We're about to change the system from within. Your benevolence. As Crown Princess, you are destined to rule this kingdom one day. That means there will be many things that you alone must determine. Things like how to keep your people happy, and what is true, and what is false. And most importantly, what role you must play therein. I wonder if I'm even up to the task. Knowing you, your benevolence, you're more than capable. I've never heard Maya talk like this before. She's really come a long way. What was that? What was that? It came from the hallway. Smoke, we better go check it out, hurry. Son of a bitch. Mrs. Inme. Mr. Wright, Acolyte Faye, I'm so sorry for what transpired. Why are we talking normal right now? Something exploded. You were almost sentenced to death because of me. Twice. Oh my god. What? Oh, sick. Okay, now smash. I will make amends by picking up where my husband left off. I will see the revolution through, so nothing like this can ever happen again. For that is the depth of my love for my dearly departed husband. Lady Inme, we gotta hurry. That voice. Is that Mr. Arbol? Oh, fuck. What was his voice? I must tell the people they must learn that the peace we enjoy is a false one. One built on the backs of innocents charged with false crimes under that odious DC Act. We have it in our power to forge a society in which the law judges all of us fairly. Hey there, PW. I wish we had more time to talk, but Dirk, everything's ready. It's go time. Dirk. Well, I see where Apollo, why he wanted an eye patch so badly. Wait, was that the rebel leader, Dirk? I have not given him a voice yet. After him, don't let them get away. The power to forge a society in which the law judges all of us fairly. It's the start of a legal revolution. Yeah. Okay. Hey, Nick. Hate to bother you while you're lost in thought, but I just got this great idea. To eat hamburgers or to join the revolution? What is it? The Steel Samurai versus the Rebel Dirk. I bet it make for another awesome TV show. Oh my god, Maya. You can't have them fighting real historical people in your universe. If we threw the Balloon Punisher in there, everyone would go nuts over it. Hear me out, Maya. The Steel Samurai Doomsday. That's your title. Go. I'll never get what she sees in those shows, but it's good to know that no matter what happens, Maya will always be Maya. Except for when she's Mia, am I right? Phoenix. Damn, it just kind of ended there? Hooray, I got a trophy. I wanted a little more time with Maya at the end. Turnabout storyteller, I hardly. Okay, well, yeah. So yeah, you were right. That took about 2 hours-ish. But I'm glad we got it done. I don't know. I really, again, I feel this way with most cases, and I can't repeat that enough because I'm really tired of Bill has a constructive conversation and then people go, well, I love it and it's a shame that you hate it. And I'm like, I never once said I hate it. All Ace Attorney cases could use like a 30-minute trim. I really liked this one. I do wish it kind of flowed smoother. I appreciate trying to change it up a bit, but it got really hard. And I'm sure part of it is because like we had to split this up a little bit because of the streams. They're not daily. Ooh, excuse me. But it was kind of hard to parse the two victims apart when I literally did not I did not interact with one of them, but like I barely interacted with Trust in Me. So I don't know. It definitely, maybe it should have been more about one body, one investigation, and then right as that seems like it's going great, suddenly there's a second body. Maya's been accused. Maybe we could have, there's a way to reshape this a little bit so we could have the first day's investigation and trial Maya's helping us out, and then the second day Maya's been accused, so it feels a little less like a meme that she's been accused like 6 times. But I really liked how this was a vehicle to explore the faults in Khura'in, and like I was saying earlier, like that, you know, well, now that there's no more lawyers, people are committing additional crimes through desperate extremes because there's no experts to help or defend them, right? Um and then also I liked that revelation of like my wife would have believed in and defended me, and she would have paid the price. I like that angle to it, right? Um it was a cool way to showcase like more ways that this is messed up other than, oh no, Phoenix, we got to get you out of this country. It was nice to kind of show you those other angles so you kind of start to feel more like we got to like fix this country. You know what I mean? Like I liked that shift. Um it's so weird that since Maya hasn't been in any of the games since Trials and Tribulation, it's like I can't, maybe she will in the one of the last 2 cases here or the DLC even, but like her absence is really felt, and I'm like, can we spend a little more time with Maya either before or after or even during the case? Um it's so strange. Because I think that's so far that's kind of been my biggest displeasure with the Apollo Justice trilogy is the fact that it's not the Apollo Justice trilogy. Like it has to keep rebalancing itself. Like we started with a new trilogy and new characters, but now we're balancing Apollo Justice characters and Phoenix Wright characters. And I'm like, I don't think you're doing a good job. You should have stuck to an Apollo Justice trilogy or a sequel trilogy for Phoenix. Because poor Apollo. But I do like this as if this was like game 7, right? If there was a full legitimate Apollo Justice trilogy. So there's 3 Apollo Justice games, 3 Phoenix Wright games. I like this as like the part 7, a little bit of Apollo, a little bit of Phoenix. Because I would have liked just taking this opportunity more to have Phoenix be reunited with Maya more, maybe even have Pearl there. And who knows, we could still get that in at some point in the last 2 cases or the DLC or something. But I'm like, no, Maya's a pretty big deal. Like that's a pretty big character. Like that, she's like up there with like Edgeworth and Gumshoe, who still haven't shown up in this yet. But I would have liked a little more of that reunion feeling. But I really liked that the build up to, you know, channeling in front of everyone and really letting that take a big step forward here. It was also interesting after sidestepping around it for so many games and then ignoring it for 2 games. It was nice to bring spirit channeling back in a very different way to where like it's known, it's acknowledged, it's respected. You can see the ghost flying out of the body, right, for the testimony. I liked all of that. I just also I miss all those components. So there's also a part of me that's just like there should have been one more. There should be one case where it's the gang's back together, right? A Wright and Co. reunion, as it were. But I really liked the story and the building blocks for the world building here. I don't know. I liked that twist. I liked because of the spirit channeling and all of that, and because of the bigger story here. I liked understanding the rebels a lot more. I really liked how Rafa became our buddy. and how Rafa had to kind of like, well, if I just watch you the whole time, you're not going to be able to forge any evidence. And we're just like, we've literally never done that. And then by the end of it, she's like, A, you've literally never forged evidence. B, I've helped people falsify testimonies. I am the false evidence. Like, I liked that kind of turnaround and the taking that opportunity to kind of take the high ground, and instead of being like, haha, you doubted us, and now you're realizing that you're part of the problem, instead of like putting her down, being like, hey man, like that's not how you should keep looking at this. Cause like, you know, truth to power, right? This flawed, bad system is hurting you too. And I liked how they took that and ran with it in the world, in their own world. I think that's something a lot of people need to be reminded of. It's easy to be complacent, but sometimes you need to kind of be slapped with that hard reality of, hey, this impacts you too. Links in the description. But I liked that progression. I liked the, you know, you evil bad lawyer thing, you, and then, oh, you're not doing anything bad. Oh, you're not doing anything evil. Chat, are we the baddies? Like, I liked that Rafa had the are we the baddies kind of experience. I'm like, could Pearl be here too? Can Maya and Phoenix like investigate together one more time? You can definitely feel the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney sequel series part 2 clash with Apollo Justice Trilogy part 3. But I really liked the story. I like setting it somewhere a little different. I'm glad that they made a very distinct difference between where Maya grew up and Khura'in, the country. The country. I don't know. Yeah, I wish there was a way to spend a little more time with the characters involved in the case, but man, giving all that time to Rafa was really satisfying. And like I said, the build up for Maya spirit channeling, like I really wasn't worried that she wouldn't be able to pull it off. I was more worried what the impact was going to be on the citizens and in the country and Rafa and all that stuff. It's something I talked about in my One Piece video a lot, where it's like sometimes when I don't feel like, oh no, you know, Luffy's gonna die in season 2 episode 1 and the rest of season 2 is gonna be about everybody else, like if I'm not worried about my main characters, you've still brought in story elements to where I'm like, oh, but I am worried about that. Like I wasn't worried Maya was gonna fail at spirit channeling. I knew she was gonna succeed, but then my brain took me to, well, how's everyone else going to react when she succeeds? And I really think they balanced that nicely. I liked still being worried, even if I'm sitting here like, oh, Maya, yeah, my adopted daughter's got this. She's been channeling since the Game Boy Advance. Like she'll be fine. I liked still worrying about the ramifications and what this will do to the world and society around her. I liked that a lot. And yeah, I guess I'm hopeful. I'm looking forward to learning more about how Apollo and Sadmati fit into all of this. What with their adopted dad leading the rebellion, their stepdad, their dad, someone who raised them. I forgot. Was it were they adopted, or do they just look super different, but they're all connected by blood? They're Papa. They're pre-Phoenix Papa. Um, I'm looking forward to seeing how that all fits together. Um, it is also a bit of a bummer. I'm like, oh, I want a little bit more of the Phoenix Wright trilogy reunion to hit. Um, it didn't quite feel like we hadn't seen each other in what 10, 15, 20 years, you know? Um, but I liked what we got in that regard. Um, I don't know. I'm like I said, I'm interested to see where it's going to go. I like how there's kind of a two-part prosecution team, and then add into it Rafa's the princess, so like she has the opportunity to like she will rule the land one day, so showing her, you know, the error of the cracks in the system and the faults in the ideologies. It's cool to see how impactful that can be. I hope we can feel that same level of impact with like Sadmati. Uh, but I kind of like, even though they don't work so closely together, I kind of like that now the prosecution has a magical anime girl helping them through the seance dance and all that. I think that's all really clever and perfectly stated, but like understated enough to where it's not like I have a Maya of my own. Rafa, I choose you. No, now they must magical girl anime battle. Um, but I don't know. I liked how they played with the Ace Attorney formula a lot. Um, and yeah, I enjoyed the story. I just like I said so far, especially like the Apollo Justice cases, but I'm like I feel like almost every Ace Attorney case you could trim at least 30 minutes out. Um, and I kind of feel that way here because I'm trying to also kind of picture how I would do this with a handheld, right? Like on a 3DS or DS or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think I would play 8, 9 hours straight and retain everything. I'm trying to think of my habits with like handheld gaming. And it's like a couple hours before bed, or kind of like when I read a book. At the end of the chapter, I'll stop and go to bed. So I'd still be splitting it up a lot. I don't think I'd be able to retain this one that well because even if I wasn't doing this on stream, I'd still probably be splitting it up over several days. Um, even with the overabundance of flashbacks, I was still like, we didn't really get to meet everybody that much. As much as I liked the spirit channeling cross examination, I'm like, I still feel like we need to meet everyone better first. Um, just so they can feel more like characters. Because that's something Ace Attorney has done really well up until this point. Is it's like, yeah, I really know the characters. Like even all the way back to the Steel Samurai, like you run and talk to him and ask him if you can be his lawyer, and you know all that jazz. I don't know. I still really liked it. Um, and yeah, like I said, I like the story. I'm really hopeful Apollo Justice will get an anime like Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy did. Because I feel like these would really, really work well and be like just as satisfying to like watch an anime, you know, a series or a movie or whatever, um, as like the Phoenix Wright stuff was. Because that was just like, oh, this is a really good adaptation of the Ace Attorney games. I feel like Apollo Justice, especially Spirit of Justice and Dual Destinies, I feel like those would work really nicely in a more angular, I guess, storytelling format, right? I don't know, it'd be cool to see. But now we do get the not only the anime cutscenes, but like those 3D moments too, when we like sent Trust in Me. I almost legitimately said to the Shadow Realm, to the Twilight Realm, like when we severed the connection there. That still was like a great beat. It was a good moment. And I'm like, yeah, I'd really like to see this like fully done, and I don't have to keep reading out loud and remembering the voices and improvising for several hours on end. But I really liked it. I'm excited to see where this is all going. I'm assuming Apollo and Athena would assemble the Ace Attorneys in Khura'in with us because we're about to start a revolution. Or are we all going to go back to Japanifornia and the revolution is brought to our doorstep? And it's like, oh no, now we're getting a DC act. I'd assume the Ace Attorneys will assemble and investigate Khura'in. Right? I'm assuming so. Ooh, excuse me. But I don't know. I'm super excited to find out, though. I like I said, I like how the story is forming. I am shocked. I feel like Ace Attorney, like even the first one, had a little bit more story in between the cases than this has so far. But maybe that's the jumping back and forth. So maybe when it all comes together right now over me, I'll feel that again. But I'm like, I really want to feel more of the story in between the cases unfold, both the little things with the characters, but the big things with the overall story of the game. But we got 2 more cases, so maybe the setup is done. Now let's go play, and like let's start ramping up for the finale. But I really liked it. I really enjoyed the story of this game so far. Like I said, I liked how that feeling of we got to get Phoenix out of here. They want to kill all the lawyers to, we should encourage them to fix their broken system. They killed all the lawyers. Like, this is bad. I like that kind of shift, you know, from self-preservation to put on your mask and then put on someone else's mask, right? In times of an emergency on an airplane. It still stands. Anyway, I'm sorry this one's a little short, but it better than going way over time on Thursday. Especially with how unpredictable the weather's been and how crazy schedules and appointments and stuff have been lately. So I appreciate y'all being patient there. We're going to do some Adventure Time Power Wash Simulator 2 on Thursday, and the channel members are going to help me pick what we're going to play next week between cases 3 and 4. So if you want to help me pick that, be a part of members-only streams and all that stuff, hit that join button. Consider donating here at thethirdbill.com. All the money goes back to helping the channels. It helps me pay for games, pay off equipment, help me pay my bills, my rent, my food, and all that good stuff so we can get more content here and on the main channel. I have a Patreon. I'm working on a Amazing Digital Circus video for that right now. And then figuring out my next main channel video. But we will be back here on Thursday doing some Adventure Time Power Wash Simulator stuff. I'm looking forward to doing that. And yeah. Yeah, click the things. Consider donating. We went over that. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and all that good jazz. There's tons of free ways to support me too. So yeah, I guess that's what I forgot. I put up a community post tab thing for channel members, so check that out. We're trying to figure out what to do, what to play between now, case 3 and 4, and then between 4 and 5. And yeah, it's weird to think. I know 5's supposed to be pretty long, but it's weird to think we got 2 cases and then we're done with like the mainline Apollo Justice trilogy, and then it's just the DLC. It's crazy. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the stream. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight, everybody. I hope everyone's staying safe. God, I'm so tired. I'm going to bed. I've not been sleeping good, but we're going to fix that. But thanks for hanging out with me tonight. Thank you, Choose You Two and Robeson, for donating. Thank you to the channel members, as always. Thank you, everyone, for watching and clicking. Like I said, remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. Ring in the bell to turn on notifications and check in the settings and all that crap. The hype button, if that's still a thing. There's tons of free ways to support me. If you don't want to donate or become a member, you can't right now. Yeah, main channel plug, Patreon plug, merch store plug. You can donate, directly support me at thethirdbill.com. Blah, blah, blah. And yeah, we'll be back Thursday with more chill gaming. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight, everybody. Appreciate you. Hope everyone's staying safe. Thank you, Alana, for modding. Thank you to the likers, the watchers, the subscribers, the members, the donators, the dreamers, and me. But yeah, this is a lot of fun. I'm glad we were able to finish this and not have to like speed through a like 5-6 hour long stream. I guess that's it. Boo that stupid seance puzzle with clicking on the lamp that took like 30 minutes out of our lives. That's another reason why we had to split this up in an awkward way. Boo that stupid part. Make the hitbox bigger. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the stream. Hope to see you next time I upload or go live. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. And yeah, be safe, be mindful of others. Remember to take care of yourselves, please.